and we'll delete that scene. Yeah, sometimes OBS just does whatever it wants to do. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the bench. Hello. Oh my goodness. Sometimes OBS just does whatever it wants. I'm very disappointed with the software. They offer it for free, and it just doesn't always do what you want. I have a guitar on my bench today. It is a Stratocaster shaped object. It's been very well used and very well played by a very great guitar player who lives in my community, a good friend of mine by the name of Terry. We've done some shows together in the past, primarily doing covers, and he would use a lot of backing tracks during his performances. And so it was really fun to play with him because we had some really nailed down material to play together, and covers that we both knew, and some that I didn't know and ended up having to improvise over, which was always fun and challenging. Hey Rogue, what's up? Welcome. I'm going to get going on this repair here fairly quick, but the first thing I have some business to take care of on my toolbox. I have this beautiful old decal that came off the back of a sticker, or back of a speaker, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my my toolbox to have this preserved in a good spot that it will likely live the remainder of my life on. So here's a look down. Let me turn my I gotta turn my camera. I'm sorry if you're getting sick from the vibrations. Well, so here's my toolbox. I've got a decal right here. I think you can see everything pretty good. We'll get that pointed in the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. And so I want to clean this up just a little bit so my glue has something to stick to. There we go. I'm not going to polish it, but I'm using this CA glue. It's a little bit, it's the stuff that's a little bit gooey. It's kind of thick. Woo, yeah, I wish I could tell you this was a coin, but it's actually, it is a, it's not a coin actually. This came off of, what did these guys build? My journeyman's standing here. I'm going to ask him. Guy, they're Chicago. It seems like they were horns or electronic equipment. I didn't see anything that was speakers.
A lot of factories built multiple items.
Right.
But it's like an embossed label.
Yeah.
Metal label.
Yeah. Yeah, very I'm going to go ahead and put it on here and give it a permanent life and a permanent home. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this glue, and I let my apprentice use this glue, and he of course plugged up the tip of it, because he just doesn't know yet that this annoys the crap out of me. And he's cut the tip off of this bigger, unfortunately, because it was plugged up. I think the lid got left off of this. That's exactly what has happened. So he just got himself a new tube of plugged up super glue. And I'm going to go ahead and use my new bottle simply because I'm not going to waste my time unplugging a plugged bottle of super glue. So I'm going to cut this off here to a really small opening. I like to keep the tips of these. Woo, and here we go. I am making a mess with this. Let's see, about a half gallon of super glue just squirted out of this bottle. About a half gallon. Yeah. So here we go with the old glue. Thought this was kind of fun. I'm just going to use a little bit on here. It doesn't take much. This thing will never come off of here. And I got to get the orientation of it correct. So I'm going to put it on like that. without a whole lot of attention to detail, I now have a new decal on an embossed decal on my toolbox. This is a cool one because this decal came off of a speaker that was likely built in the late 1930s, nearly 100 years old. So isn't that cool to have that? I'm pretty proud of that. Zach, what's up? Timothy, hey buddy. Rogue, thanks for being here. All right, so let's get that centered, and I'll get you a good, here's what she looks like. There it is, up close and personal. You can see that really well, hopefully. Isn't that cool? I'm hoping that my camera is showing that clearly. Pretty cool. It's embossed. Really neat. All right, so let's get to fixing a guitar. I've kind of done a little bit of wheel spinning here for nothing really super important. I've got work to do here. Okay, get my toolbox back where it belongs. All right, so we're going to take a look at the guitar. This is a Stratocaster shaped object. Oh, and by the way, I got a bunch of parts in from Antique Electronics Supply today that I'll be using. These are capacitors, resistors, some old school cloth wire that will be used to repair two amplifiers. One is a 53 Fender Bandmaster, the other one is a 1942 Kalamazoo, which is where that embossed decal came from. So really cool. So I have a lot of that to do. I probably won't be doing that live. There's far too much involved in doing that work for me to be able to try and broadcast that live. So I probably will shoot video of that, so you may be able to see that on a produced video later on when I'm done with them. Let's see. Oh, okay. And I was just presented with this. This is top secret. Pause it and top secret schematic for a 1942 3556. Yeah, we've got some old equipment that we've been blessed with the faith of our customers, our clients, to repair, and some really valuable instruments, if not monetarily valuable, historically valuable amps and such. Let's see. Charlie, what's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, Timothy. There's a shop in Portland called Dawson Amp Repair. Look them up. They're on Facebook. You can find them, Dawson Amp Repair. They do, I don't know if what area of the world that you live in, but usually there are electronics repair shops available in a lot of areas that will offer workshops on building an amplifier. Dawson often does one where they build an amp that's very comparable to a Fender Princeton, or just an old like volume and tone control circuit. Very simple. The circuits are endless. But I would highly recommend looking into your electronic repair shops in your area if you're close to a big city or something like that. Someone's probably offering a clinic for that. But I know that Dawson Amp Repair in Portland, Oregon offers those classes quite often, and they are amazing. They work on some really, really cool amps. Portland's depth of vintage gear is incredible. So check that out. Oh, Chicago. Okay. Cool. I bet you could find somebody there, brother. Just look for amp repair shops and then send them a request. You might find someone, and they can be expensive to build. And you can buy kits, amp kits, from businesses that comes with the cabinet and the speaker and all the electronic components and all that stuff, and a very outlined directions for building it. Oh, and you know what? I just realized something. I don't walk on water. I'm going to move that schematic. Let's take a look at this guitar real quick. Here is the Strat-shaped object that I'll be working on today. Nice natural wood finish. This is not a Fender Strat. I don't know where the neck came from, but the guy just absolutely loves this guitar to death. However, I've got one other thing that I've got to do on a guitar that I worked on last week. I just realized that I forgot to do something. Give me one moment. All right. Welcome to the Schecter. Come here. Well, I probably should play this guitar because it is there she is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just a gorgeous guitar. We'll give you a flyby on this one. This is a Schecter Hellraiser that is owned by a doctor in our community that brings his guitars in to me. He has just been an absolutely wonderful client. I did some repair work on it, but you see what I forgot to do? Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time, probably won't be the last. But I saw the truss rod cover sitting in my dish here, so I'm going to put that back on here. I know, watching a guy put screws on a guitar is really exciting, isn't it? So we'll get that done. Where is my favorite screwdriver? Get my coffee cup out of the way. Kind of disorganized it a little bit today. Get this through here. There we go. And put that back on here. Alright, so here we go. Hellraiser is all done. I'm going to plug this thing in and play it a little bit. I need to make sure my work held up. And get going. Let's see. Woohoo! How is everybody? Yeah, dude, this thing, this guitar is really, really sweet. I did play it right after I got done working on it. Don't ever buy one of these toolboxes. These things are terrible. Okay, so this thing, really super cool guitar. Let me get you up a little bit here. I'm moving my camera a little bit. Sorry if you're getting sick from all the motion. Never apologize, but so I've got a loop pedal here, and I've got an overdrive pedal, and I've got some wire that I need to deal with. I was going to build some wires the other day. Yeah, I'm sure Jeff would love this guitar. He would tune it down to drop C or something with some 10 gauge strings on it probably. Holy smokes. I'm just listening to it acoustically right now to see if it's holding tune. Alright, I'm going to say it. Floyd Rose's, if they aren't the best, the most tuning stable instruments in the world, Evertune has them beat. That's it. Nothing holds tune better than a Floyd Rose that's properly set up. There was a gentleman last night on Richard's, the Foul Crows live stream that was talking about putting a string change on a Floyd Rose impregnated guitar. That's what I call them. They're Floyd Rose impregnated guitars. If you stay with the same string brand, same gauge, I don't care if you use Ernie Ball's 9s. The next set of strings you put on a guitar like this, use Ernie Ball 9s. If you use Diodario 9s, you're going to mess this up because the tensions are not the same from manufacturer to manufacturer. If there's nothing else you ever get from me, if you own a guitar with a Floyd Rose, that is hands down the best advice you'll ever hear with that. Or take it to a guitar shop and have somebody that knows how to do it. Okay, this thing, let's see if I can get my camera pointed the right way. Turn the volume down. This instrument has a Sustainiac pickup. in the neck position, and it has a active EMG. I don't know what model of pickup it is, but the Sustainiac portion of this is fantastic. Let's see here what we've got. An imbalance with the volume when I go from the neck position without the Sustainiac on to the bridge position or the center position on the knob, and I'm not quite certain if I can. It's an adjustment. It's an adjustment that would need to be made by the player who's operating the device with their volume control. If you've just joined the stream, welcome. I'm not doing a whole lot of interacting with the chat because I am at work, but just thought I'd share this with you. And I wanted to play this one more time before it goes home. Doc's going to come get it. So let me come up with a. That's a good riff. Let's put some delay on it. I mean, I gotta make sure they work. Just having fun playing a little guitar. So we got the truss rod cover back on this thing, and it's holding tune really great. I'm gonna go put it back in the case. All right. Thank you, Dr. Bertrand, for bringing your guitar into us here. Really beautiful instrument. All right, back to the old Strat-shaped object. Let me turn this amp off. Woo!
I know for a fact.
Oh, hey, Val. What's that?
I know for a fact that that body has had at least 6 different nicks on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And this one doesn't line up correctly. It's really...
It's not standard.
It's not, yeah. I tried to adjust that the last time. So I've worked on this instrument, and my journeyman here, Mr. Stu Hensley, he doesn't like to be on camera, but I'll say it one more time. If you were as lucky as I am to have a man like that in your life, well, you're about the luckiest person in the world. Not gay, by the way. Stu, his knowledge of instrument work and repair and amps is, I second to none. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and I do every day. When we speak, it's nothing but learning. But he's worked on this instrument many, many times. Here she is. I'm gonna see. Let's see. What does she look like? Hey, Sean, Rogue. Hey, it's good to see you, brother. Zach, Valerie. Hey, hello. Thank you for that compliment, Val. Pooh. Yeah, dude. The Sustainiacs are just amazing. All right, so the owner of this instrument, a very good friend of mine. I've worked on tons of his guitars. His name is Terry. I'm going to refrain from saying his last name just simply for his own privacy, but wonderful. He's a school teacher, retired school teacher, and now all he does is do music for gigs and such, and he's introduced me to a lot of new clients. Word of mouth is the best advertising you could ever hope for. I don't advertise at all. So he's having some fret buzz issues with this instrument. Let me look at the work order again. Let's see. He said fret buzz at the 12th fret. He wants it restrung with a set of Ernie Ball 9-gauge strings. I love it when an owner knows what they want and I don't have to guess or call him. And again, I've worked with him so much, he knows exactly what I need to know when he brings the guitar in. So, fret buzz at the 12th, notorious. Let me, I'm gonna go ahead and play this thing acoustically just to see if I can identify what he's talking about. Fret buzz is a touchy subject for a luthier because people play differently, and I may not make this guitar buzz or the way he does. What I'm doing is checking the I'm checking the relief between frets to see if I've got enough string height between the next fret. That one is definitely not high enough. And we have some really ultra low string action. So before I make an adjustment to that, here's how I'm going to start. I'm going to check the neck relief first. So We'll see where the neck relief's at on this thing. If you're working on your own instruments, you can do this in whatever order you choose. To me, neck relief is the first place to go, because if it's too flat, and it is, okay, so the neck relief on this instrument is not correct, and I want to check the string gauge on this, because if I'm going to be changing string gauges, that'll change the neck relief. So I've got a lot to consider before I even do anything, but I can definitely feel and hear the fret buzz that he's talking about, and this guy knows what he's talking about, because he's a really pretty well established musician. So these are 9-gauge strings, so I'm not changing string gauge. So time to change the neck relief, and I have been, it's funny, in order to change the neck relief on this thing, you got to pull the neck off of it, right? And it has strings on it, right? And you can't pull a neck off of a guitar with strings on it. Yeah, you just heard me say that, right? Don't use power tools on your electric guitars. You're asking for trouble. And I know turning screws is something we all get bored with watching, right? I'm sorry I can't fast forward this. I wish I could. I'm not going to use a drill on this guitar. I would love to, but wow. Not going to do it. Use power drills on guitars.
Keep power tools away from guitars.
Yep. You heard him. You heard the man. Ask me why I don't use drills on guitars.
Please don't.
Okay. So we don't have enough the neck relief on this. The neck is too flat. So we're going to be loosening the truss rod on this one. And you're watching me after being highly criticized for, you're telling people to take the guitar neck off of a guitar with strings on it? Watch and learn. Yes, I'm telling you to take the guitar neck off of the guitar with strings on it. You're watching me do this, right? On live. Go ahead and report me to the police. I'm going to see if this number 2 will do it. I want to loosen the truss rod. So we're going to give it a little more than a quarter turn, because it had quite a bit too much neck relief. Is anybody out there shitting their pants right now because I just did that? Are you mad? Are you mad at me? That's okay. It's perfectly okay. You can be mad. Let me get the screws back in the same holes that they came from. And there you go. You can, if you're doing this to your own guitar or buddy's guitar, you can pull the strings off it if you choose to do that. If you want to waste that kind of time, by all means do it. Cinch this bad boy back up. This neck's been off this guitar a lot, so these screws actually pretty easy to thread in. And if I do have to pull this neck off of here again, I'm probably going to put some locking, a little bit of thread locking juice on these screws, just to help make them stick a little better. You don't need to reef these down. This is not an Arnold Schwarzenegger moment. Oh my goodness, I just did that. Did you see what I just did? Oh my goodness. I took the neck off of a guitar with strings on it, and I just noticed that he is missing a screw or a pin adjustment. See this? It's all the little things we run into, and he's complaining about fret buzz. So, although the neck relief wasn't correct, so we've corrected 2 problems, now we're going to correct 3. Where are my... Got a set of saddles here someplace. Is that them? No. Hang on. I know I've got a set of saddles here somewhere. Give me one moment. Those little set screws are really a pain in the neck if you lose them. And one of those parts, I should have a whole box of those. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, Stu.
Yes, sir.
Do you have one?
I believe I'm out also. I will go look.
And the only other thing I could do, if Terry needs his guitar back, I could pull one out of another guitar.
It's standard import
Yeah,
Fender.
let's check. I think it's the metric 1.5 mil. All right. Yep. Oh wait. It isn't. It's a standard.
Is it a .05?
Yeah, the .05 or yeah, .05. It's got to be. Let's check it though.
Yeah, that's the standard American Fender size.
So this is an Imperial. It's not an import saddle set on this guitar. It's kind of interesting. Yep. So it's a standard dimension. I know I don't have any extra ones of those. I will be, what you just paid witness to is, number one, I discovered the problem with this guitar, but number two, that I don't have the right part to replace the part that's missing on this instrument. So we're gonna see if we can find one. I just don't have any. I don't have a spare set of American saddles. Is this something you think you might have?
I can go look. I'd probably do it home, but I can look here. I thought we had a bag with a whole bridge in it.
Let me double check back here. Let me double check my parts, boy.
And I can look at mine also.
Okay, let me double check back here. Oh, Stu. All right.
I thought you'd say a whole bridge at some point.
I did. Now, question is it the same size Allen key? These are imports.
And that's maybe they have.
This might be. These don't have Fender on them. I think these are both imports, but we.
You got your multi-driver.
No. Well.
You get what you need?
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can make this work. The stuff we find.
Well, then things are worth the weight in gold.
Boy. What I don't know is if these threads will fit into the saddle.
The pitch is incorrect, but
Yep.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to test it. If I can make this metric adjustment screw work, I will do that. Let me get the camera pointed down. I got to talk to my cameraman. He sucks. All right. Let's hope. I'm hoping.
Wrong pitch.
It's the wrong pitch.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong thread pitch. This is the wrong pitch also. So. Yeah, I'm not going to force that in there. Just stripping it out. Well, so we're faced with ordering parts now to actually repair this guitar. I'm going to call the owner and let him know, because I don't know if he's got to use this guitar for a gig coming up. I'm not sure if that's the case. If it is, we'll do a high-speed delivery. So not much left I can do on this, but I can still test the. I can still make sure that I got the neck relief fixed. I'm gonna call Terry right now. I love calling this guy. He's always so fun. I'll put him on speakerphone. Y'all can listen to us have a conversation.
Hey, Marshall.
Yo, Terry, man. Hey, I got your Strat on my bench right now, and one of your saddles is missing the adjustment screw.
It's funny you should mention that, because I am actually on my way over to the store right now.
Are you? Do you? Oh, he just hung up on me. It's fun to have guys like this. So we'll see. I wonder if he found it or has one or knows about this. I'm completely dumbfounded by that. That was an interesting conversation.
Well, he likes to come down and see you.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's on his way here, so we'll wait till he gets here to see what he wants to do. I mean, I do have a whole set of import, and you could swap these out on this guitar as long as the spacing's correct with no problem at all. But they're not Fenders. These are imports, and this came off of a guitar that was just ultimately destroyed that came in. So let me check up on the Strat. What's up, Mr. Hubs? Man, I'm sorry, you guys. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Let's see. Sean. Trust wheel's the way to go. Yeah, I got you. Oh, Valerie, I don't have any other. Forgive me, I don't have any moderators. I'm not going there. Let's see. Boy, I hope so. That was kind of an interesting conversation with him. Look at it. Yeah. Gary, it's great to see you, brother. Yeah, so with regard to pulling the strings off of an instrument to adjust a truss rod on a Strat or a Tele, you never have to do that. It's a waste of time. The only reason you would really there's not a good reason that you would do that unless you were changing, say, from a set of 10 gauge strings to a set of 9 gauge strings. At that point, you know, I would go ahead and put the new strings on it, check the neck relief, and if you have adjustments that need to be made with the new strings on the instrument, at that point, yeah, you made a good move to remove the strings. But then you restrung it and you took the neck off with the strings on it. So I think it's a smart thing to do, and it saves a lot of time, or saves some time. All right, I think Terry just got here. Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And I don't have, this is an Imperial one, this is an American part. I'm going to have to order that to get the right one.
Okay.
And, or, now, big question is, do you have a gig? Do you need this guitar back?
No.
Okay. When are you gigging next?
Tuesday.
He does a lot of gigs. You want to say hello to some friends of mine?
Hello, friends of Marshall's. How are you?
Meet Mr. Terry.
Hey, here we are.
I'm refraining from sharing your last name.
Oh, good, because I don't know what it is either.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Terry Lamont. Oh, did I say that? So we're gonna go ahead and order a part for this saddle, and we'll get this coming almost immediately, and we'll make sure that the original Fender saddle works. So it did have the neck relief was a little bit. It was a little bit flat,
yeah,
which will happen. So I've adjusted that. I haven't checked it.
Yeah, it was up here. It was getting to be a little wonky.
You were getting in fret buzz up in the.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's where that was at, and I was on my way over here to tell you what is all this.
Okay.
Oh, junk parts.
I got a bunch of these are metric. They just won't work on this guitar unless we swapped out all the saddles, and I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either. The other thing I was going to ask when you have a minute to, this is starting to get a wobble in it. It just needs to come off and be tightened down. That's all.
Is that a set screw on it? It does. Okay.
And that's all. I don't have the stuff to do it, or I do it myself.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's about the size of it. So
when I don't know how long it's been since we've had the pick guard off of this, but I think
it's been a while.
Yeah, when we open it up, I'll go ahead and hit them all with contact cleaner. If I'm gonna have to open it up anyway.
This one's not connected to anything. If you want to remove it and just put a plug in there, that's fine.
Okay.
I just disconnected so it's a volume.
Yeah, so you got master tone, and it's a 5-way.
Yeah, okay. I need to get something out of my gig bag in here anyway.
Oh, okay. What are these pickups? Are these Lawrence?
Yeah.
These are the ones you just absolutely love, right?
They are. I had Bill Lawrence wrapped them for me specifically.
He was
Yeah. The story behind it is I was playing a guitar that had a neck through the body, and I was playing in a human club system, and the neck was starting to warp. So I said, well, I have enough parts to build a Stratocaster, so I built this one. And I built this one up, and these Bill Lawrence pickups were sitting around, but they weren't working the way I wanted them to. So a friend of mine knew Bill Lawrence personally. Called him on the phone and said, hey, we got these and they're not doing this. Can you do anything for my friend? And he said, sure. And he said, I've got all I've got right at this moment is I got some 48 gauge wire, and it's I think he said it's something like 90% copper, 3% tin, and 3% zinc, or 7% zinc, or some combination of that. And I sent them over to Bill Lawrence, and he wrapped them up and sent them back to me, and then called me and asked me how they were, and I said they were doing great.
Yeah.
And I've been using it ever since.
In my recollection on this guitar, with the work that I've done on it, I think
you lined the cavity.
We did line the cavity. Yep, I can see the copper down in there.
Yep.
Yep. So we've done a lot of mods we've modified Terry's guitar to make it a tool for him to use. It's like our owner's 52 Telly.
It's a Partsocaster.
Yeah, and it's who knows where neck this is. I don't know. I don't remember.
That I voted. It's on there. Let's put that on in 1980. That's how long I've had that.
Very cool. So, I wasn't even old enough to vote in 1980.
Here, just so all your viewers can see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna order some of those. I need to have some spare ones of those anyway, so I'll bring some in, and we'll have to replace or get that adjustment screw going in the standard.
Yeah.
So this one's gonna go on the wall, and then did you bring in?
Nope.
Okay.
I haven't brought anything else in yet. I've got that Gretsch streamliner that I have, and eventually I'm going to have you take out the pickups and put in some Hurley gates in there. Eventually.
Okay.
Not right away.
Okay. Sorry to have the bad news on that. I have no idea how that would have come out of there. But when I
I don't know. It's only been that way. I've only been in there for 40 years, Marshall. There's no idea how it got out.
Well, it's just amazing.
This guitar, when I was playing in Houston all the time, I was playing this guitar up to 12 hours a day, doing various gigs, and then worked 40 hours a week on it after that.
Right.
It was just,
Okay. Well, I'm sure that I've done a setup adjustment on this. I would think.
Right after you started working here.
Yeah, so it's been years ago.
Yep.
8, 10,
I'll see you
15
later.
years ago. Okay.
Bye, everybody at home.
Thanks, Terry.
Yep.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon. Okay, so we're going to have to put this on a pause on this, and I'm going to hang this one up. And I'm going to losing knobs.
It's amazing, you only have a studio space like that for 30 years.
So I had a couple instruments come in yesterday for repairs. So I'm going to take my first look at this one. Let me see, what does this guy want? Intonation, new strings. He wants 9s. It's a Gretsch Electric, a G5222. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Terry's such a cool guy, you guys. I'm so lucky to have these kind of people come into my life. It's just super cool. Wow, look at that. Whew. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Holy smokes. Okay, so we're going to do new strings on this, but before I do, I'm going to want to play it a little bit, just acoustically. Whew. We got wow, like a 6mm thick pick. That's like a 1.14, I think. Got the old Gretsch master volume. Feels really nice to play. See what gauge strings are on it. We'll make a determination. Let's take a look at what strings are on this thing. I hope everybody's doing all right, man. Steven, what's up? Oh, Steve, the studio reorganization was fantastic. I didn't shoot as much video as I'd hoped to shoot of that, so I'm not going to be able to put up a video. Let's see. These are 9-gauge strings, so we're not going to be changing the string gauge on this instrument. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in just to kind of check it out and make sure everything, all the electronics are working. And I like to play an instrument. I don't just like to, make sure it makes noise and all that stuff. I think there are a lot of probably a lot of guys that work on guitars that are really not terribly well accomplished guitar players, maybe, or bass players, and so I like to actually put my hands on them and play them a little bit, just to make sure if I feel anything weird, I can make an adjustment. on this, and it actually feels pretty good. This is a really nice guitar, you guys. Wow. Made in China, of course. Alright. This one's I think we're okay. All the electronics seem to work just fine. So I'm going to get down to business on this bad boy. Intonation and new strings. So ultimately what I'm faced with when I hear that is I definitely have to check the neck relief on this instrument. And then we'll basically do a setup on this thing. To check. This should be a Gibson. This should be a Gibson scale neck, I believe. Should be. Oh no. Yeah, it looks like the neck is the relief is way too much bow, underbow in it. Looks good though. Just way too much underbow. So I'm gonna be going ahead and doing a string change on this before I do anything else. But before I even do that, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the fingerboard, clean up the frets, and treat it with linseed oil. I might as well. I've got it here. We'll take care of that for him. Yeah. And I gotta check the time because it's about time for me to eat some lunch. It's getting close. So let's go ahead and pull the strings off of this bad boy. And we'll get going on that. I definitely did not put strings on this the last time it had a string change because the strings are not put on as I would do it. They're done a little differently. And it looks like a knot's been tied, actually. And this client is somebody that I do not recognize their name, which is cool. You have some, maybe I have some new business. We'll see. Seems to happen. Alright, take a look. So this has Diodario brand strings on it. At least, I believe it does, and y'all know why. I know that, I think. I like to pull the saddles off if they're loose like that because I don't want them bouncing around and scratching up the finish. That's how I know. Colorful ball ends on them, which I really like that about Diodario. That's the one thing I like about them. We don't carry them here at the shop because they're not as readily available as Ernie balls are. So Ernie ball Slinky 9s is what I'm going to put on here. These are coming off really nicely. It did not tie knots. That's great. Oh boy, there. Except for on this one. All right. We got the strings off of there. So let's clean up the fingerboard. Treat it with some linseed oil. And my paper towels are not here. Boy, my bench is getting to be a mess. I got way too much stuff out here. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. Okay. Kind of a cool day I've had so far. I had a young lady who brought her son into the shop this morning, her son is interested in becoming a drummer. He's 10 years old. And one of the first things I asked him was, do you like to sing? And his mom responded, well, he sings in the shower every day. If you're a drummer and you don't sing, start singing. You'll get the job before the other drummers that don't sing get the job. In fact, if you're a bass player and you don't sing, start singing, because you'll get a job before the guy that doesn't sing. Everybody can sing, and those who say they can't, they have never tried. That's my statement to that. Start singing. So here we go. We're cleaning up the fingerboard. Gonna get it wet with some good old-fashioned simple green. Oh boy, yeah, this thing is dirty, and it looks very dry, so this will help condition this fingerboard really, really well. And it is really dirty. Yeah.
How do you spell your first name? What's that? How do you spell your first name? L-A-R-G-A.
You can get up here in the action. Here we go. Our house band that the owner of the business has a gig tonight, playing in the little town of Hermiston, Oregon. And it's amazing because the people that are going to go to that show, many of them have no idea what they're paying witness to, in the fact that he will be playing his 1952 Fender Telecaster at that gig. And you know, as a guitar player, an aficionado, a lover of the instrument, there aren't many that are more iconic than a 1952 Fender Telecaster. It's pretty cool that he still is out taking that instrument to work and getting paid really well to play some music. I don't think he's going to get rich anytime soon doing it, but really plays in a fantastic band. His son is the lead singer in the band. So I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here on the fingerboard and the headstock. This is stuff that when you're working on your own guitar and putting strings on your own instruments, this like this right here, do this. Every time you put strings on it, keep the thing clean. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't take much time. Just get a nice towel, nice clean towel. You can buy them at the dollar store. Don't buy anything at Walmart if you would. Okay. Much better. Look at that. I marked the fingerboard with linseed oil. Sorry about it. Dries out and it becomes very kind of dull looking, dry looking. You know, while you got all these parts off of an instrument like this, get in there and clean these places where the strings would be covering that you can't get in and clean up. You want to be careful about adjusting the height of your string action. I certainly haven't touched those, and these are bottomed out anyway, which is where I like them. Sometimes you can't do that on a Tune-o-matic style bridge. Most of them you can. I like them bottomed out just to get that string penetration down into the body, the vibrations of the strings getting into the body of the guitar. Clean the pickups. Just looks pretty. It'll only look nice for a day or two, if that. Unless this guy just doesn't play this thing very much. Which I would guess that he does. He's just taking really good care of this. Okay, linseed oil. Here we go with some linseed oil. I want to get you guys in on the action here. This is really cool to watch this wood really come to life. Looks like my stream is getting bogged down again because I'm broadcasting over Wi-Fi, probably drop out, so it's probably time for me to hang up. You guys have seen this 1,000 times. Thanks everybody for being here today. I'm gonna look over the chat real quick. Yeah, good man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. It looks like I have to use OBS because YouTube won't let me use the. I'm really getting frustrated with this. So I'm gonna have to spend some money. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm gonna hang things up and go eat some lunch. Peace.